Radio 1080 KRLD.
It's going to be sunny today, breezy, a nice day with highs around 61. Tonight we'll see lows in the mid-40s, and then tomorrow cloudy and cool with a few scattered afternoon showers, about a 20% chance, high of around 63. By Sunday, though, it's going to be much cooler. Temperatures will fall from nearly 60 into the low 40s by late afternoon. 34 right now.
Streaming live at KRLD.com and to the Odyssey DFW's #1 for news, weather, and traffic. News Radio 1080, KRLD AM, KRLD AM HD, and KRLD FM HD2, Dallas, Fort Worth.
Coming up on KRLD. I'm Andrew Greenstein. Police in Fort Worth released body cam video of an officer-involved shooting from over the weekend.
A baby missing in Kaufman County has been found 1,000 miles away. The Amber Alert is over. I'm Kurt Lewis with more coming up.
Keep it right here to your news all day. 9 o'clock. News on the Hour, sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Officials in Memphis are bracing ahead of tonight's scheduled release of body cam video, allegedly showing police beating a driver after a traffic stop. Tyree Nichols died 3 days later. The ex-officers charged with second-degree murder. Reporter Chris Fox is in Memphis.
Memphis is a city on edge, sad, grieving, and angry. All of those emotions on display Thursday night at a candlelight vigil at the local skate park, referred to as Tyree Nichols' happiest place.
Oh, Lord! Wow! Each and every time we...
Rovon Wells, Tyree's mother, made an appeal for people to non-violently protest.
I don't want us burning up our cities, tearing up the streets, because that's not what my son stood for.
Many here also questioning why release the video on a Friday after dark. Chris Fox for CBS News, Memphis.
A January 6th rioter is scheduled for sentencing today in Washington. CBS's Stacey Lynn.
33-year-old Julian Cater pleading guilty to using a chemical spray on Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick just hours before the officer died. Sicknick's family believes Cater is primarily responsible for his death and is urging the judge to give him a harsh sentence.
Holiday shopping be darned. The Commerce Department says consumer spending fell 0.2% in December. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
The most important aspect of this report is a measure of inflation. That is called the PCE index, and there has been some improvement. Year over year, prices rose by 5% last month. That's down from the 5.5% increase in November.
Customers will have to beat it to the pharmacy on time because a couple of large chains are shortening their hours. The Wall Street Journal says CVS is cutting or shifting hours at about 2/3 of its locations in March. Walmart pharmacies will close at 7 p.m. instead of 9 to deal with pharmacist shortages. California farmers who've been battling drought are getting a boost from all the rain that devastated parts of the state this month. Donald Seymour is with Sonoma Water.
It really took that type of sequential number of storms to really saturate the watershed and create just a huge amount of runoff into the two reservoirs, which are basically now both fully recovered.
A beloved college basketball broadcaster has died. Billy Packer worked 34 Final Fours for CBS and NBC. His family says he'd been hospitalized for 3 weeks for several issues and ultimately died of kidney failure. Billy Packer was 82. The Dow is up 66. This is CBS News.
Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Good morning. We've jumped up to 42 degrees at 9:03. This is the Friday Morning News here on KRLD. It's 27th of January. Mike Rogers here along with Susie Solis. We've got your weekend forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes. But our top story this morning, a baby missing out of Kaufman County has been found safe this morning. Both his parents are in jail now in North Carolina. KRLD's Kurt Lewis has the latest.
13-week-old Xavier Calliste had been missing since Wednesday evening. He and his mother, Abigail Williams, had been staying at a domestic violence shelter in camp, although the baby was technically in the custody of CPS, meaning Williams was free to come and go, but could not take Xavier out without CPS permission. On Wednesday evening, about 7, Williams vanished with the infant, leading to Thursday's Amber Alert. Early this morning, Williams and the baby were found more than 1,000 miles away in North Carolina, where where Fayetteville police took her into custody on a warrant for interfering with child custody. She's being held there until extradition back to Texas. The baby is safe and currently being kept in North Carolina's Child Protective Services until Texas CPS can make arrangements to bring the baby back to Texas. From the 24-hour news center, Kurt Lewis, News Radio 1080, KRLD.
Fort Worth police have released body cam footage of an officer-involved shooting from over the weekend. KRLD's Andrew Greenstein has the update.
Fort Worth police were called to a home on Odessa Avenue early Saturday afternoon on a report of 35-year-old Hector Galvin threatening his sister with a handgun during an argument. Body cam video shows officers chasing Galvin onto Rutland Avenue.
Hey, get your hands out of your pockets! I'll shoot you, bro!
Police deployed a taser, but it was ineffective. Assistant Police Chief Robert Aldridge says while Galvin was on the ground, he pulled the gun from his pants and pointed it at the officer.
Fearing that he was about to be shot, the officer fired his handgun 2 times at the suspect to stop his deadly threat.
Galvin is currently hospitalized in stable condition. He's charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon against both a family member and a public servant. From the 24-hour news center, Andrew Greenstein, News Radio 1080, KRLD.
The president of the school board in the Collin County city of Prosper has resigned after being arrested this week for indecency with a child. We were telling you about this yesterday. Drew Wilborn picked up in Dallas on Wednesday. He was pastor at a church. Police say the victim told him that Wilborn touched her inappropriately at that church, the Antioch Fellowship Missionary Baptist Church. The church has since fired him. Parents of Prosper students held a prayer vigil outside district headquarters last night, telling NBC5 that this case follows the case of a school bus driver who was arrested last year for molesting 2 young students.
Unfortunately, in Prosper, I see we have a lot more skeletons in our closet here in this district than they are being transparent about.
That bus driver killed himself after being arrested last May. Now, the Prosper School Board will hold a special meeting next week to discuss how to move forward.
Dallas has updated its economic development policies to make them more equitable and encourage more development in South Dallas.
The new guidelines are designed to promote economic development in areas that city officials say have been traditionally underserved. Councilmember Casey Thomas says they want to bring more jobs to the city's southern sector.
We have one corporation, just one, to relocate